next guest too. Here they come. Robbie Coltrane, Warwick.
Thank you. Your gin is delicious.
We're going to go straight to questions. So who would like to ask the first question? The gentleman in the red shirt again. Can we get a microphone to this guy? Thanks, buddy.
So my question is for Robbie. You got to recreate, I'm over here, I'm right here. You got to recreate a really awesome moment to open up the park last night. So I'm just wondering what that was like for you to recreate, one of the bigger moments for Hagrid in the movie, if you get to open it to everyone like that.
Well, I think cool is something about it. It was amazingly, it was a very nice thing to be able to do. And they did a great job in the effects of the Brett movie and stuff, the timing of it was really crucial. So I think it's not interesting, but it seemed to work.
I'm glad that we were crossing our fingers. Next question. I don't see a lot of hands raised. Okay, I'm gonna ask Mr. Davis a question. Your favorite moment from last night?
Favorite moment from last night? It was such an amazing evening, and I think as actors from the film, we feel so privileged to come here and be involved with these events, and have the honour of opening such an amazing, I don't want to call it an attraction, just an experience, I suppose. So yeah, from last night, it was just sharing it with everyone. We were lucky to have a preview during the afternoon, but not very many people had been through here, and it was lovely to be able to kind of open up the brick wall and allow everybody to come through, and just to see people's faces who were singing for the very first time. I think that's what's so exciting about Diagon and all of the new parts that the Universal Studios have created here is just it extends the adventure for the guests even further. If they were thrilled with Hogsmeade and Hogwarts and the ride up there, then I think this surpasses even that we have in this area. And I was lucky enough to go through with my family yesterday and show them the Escape from Gringotts and the Hogwarts Express, and just to see their faces was really a treasure memory for me. So I think fans of the films are in for an absolute treat.
From film to reality. I wonder what that feels like for you. Can you talk a little bit about your impression as you walk around last night compared to the filmmaking?
I feature in the ride more than I do in the films. So it was nice to actually see myself up there. That was an experience for me. But it was kind of amazing. You walk around, there was a girl there last night, using the wand to make make the stuff work, the rain, and the umbrella and all the rest of it. I think that's where it's at really. It's in the delight of people who are in the park. Everything about the place is amazing, and there's a sense of wonder about the whole place, which is really important. But it's when you see the kids do it, I think it's really when it comes alive there. So that was it for me.
That interactive stuff, right?
Yeah.
It is magical. It really is. I'm standing here with one like a 10-year-old.
Yeah, and I couldn't do it for a while.
No, me neither. I was about 8 years old. Sorry, focus.
That's perfected, yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Questions? Hi.
This question is for Robbie. Your character Hagrid introduces the strawberry peanut butter ice cream to Harry. Have you had a chance to try it? What did you think?
I'm not. No. What is it called?
We're going to correct. We'll take care of this right away.
Oh yeah.
Strawberry peanut butter ice cream. It's like from the films. We'll get you some.
Oh, right. I'm diabetic. I'm not allowed to. The question is, too much of it when you were young. Let that be a lesson to your children. That is delicious.
It's great. Other questions? Hi. Sure.
Yesterday I had the privilege of getting on the Escape from Gringotts ride, and I saw some of you getting off of it. I wanted to know what was your immediate reaction. How did you enjoy it? What were some of the highlights?
Well, for me, it was brilliant. I was it's lovely to be back home again as a goblin. But it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. I mean, the kind of seeing this blend of reality and the fictional imagery in the ride is just absolutely mind-blowing. The combination of different technologies to create this experience that you do feel out of control. And being an actor, you kind of are somewhat sort of jaded about these things, and you understand the workings. But I found myself protecting myself at times. Whoa, what's coming at me? And it was just absolutely brilliant. It totally takes you in. Yeah, I wanted to write it again. I mean, honestly, it was just once is certainly not enough to take everything in. And I think it sets a new benchmark in minds. I mean, if you thought the ride at Boston was good, then this is, I think it's a masterpiece, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Did you got that, Robbie?
No, not yet. No, I went to the train yesterday. That was extraordinary. I did like years. A bit of time wondering how it's done. You see behind the scenes in these things, you kind of know how a lot of things are. And it kind of jades you the way.
Yeah.
And I'm going, how have you seen this? Whatever. And that. And then suddenly I appear in a motorcycle. It goes off in a rocket. That is so cool. And riding through the Scottish countryside is where Hogwarts is. It was just staggering. And the sound effects, and the way they coordinated the movement of the train, and the visuals, and there's a projection thing going on in the window, which I couldn't work out. But it's terrific. It's only 4 minutes or something. But you really feel like you've been in a journey, don't you? It's so convincing, it's lovely. And then you go back and it's slightly different visuals.
Thank you.
Whoops.
Another question, please.
Hello. Having been a part of the movies, this question is for all of them, by the way. Having been a part of the movies and attending movie premieres and attending the park, how does it feel from an emotional standpoint? Being around fans and guests and media versus a movie premiere and opening a theme park.
Well, I mean, opening the last night's opening was very much like one of the premieres we might have been to over the years for the films themselves. They're always very well attended by thousands of people, and the media interest in openings of films and the openings of different parts of the Wizarding world have always been very, very strong. And it's fantastic that the films and the Harry Potter in general just has so much support still. And I think if you look back, I talked about this last night a little bit. The books obviously are where this all comes from. People took the books and embraced them. And then that led to the films being made, and they embraced them, and then that led to all of what we see here at Universal Studios and beyond, and the studio tour in London, etc. And it's because people embrace Harry Potter and want more, from it. And so it really is all down to the fans. But of course, initially J.K. Rowling, a brilliant creation, which has so much depth that they can expand it out into all of these different areas, and it still rolls up. Here we are sitting in, something that came from J. Rowling's imagination right here, which is just amazing.
The great difference between last night and the British opening is that the red carpet was dry. One year, do you remember that? You're standing on the red carpet, and I suddenly realized I was moving. But I wasn't moving my feet. It was like being on a ski slope. It was hilarious. All these people on the red carpet trying to do it. So, Robbie, you had
Well, there was touch and go last night, by the way. We went to Florida. We got really lucky last night. There's a question over here.
Warwick and Domnhall, you both have had the rare opportunity to be a part of two of the most beloved franchises of all time. Domnhall, I have a question. Can you tell us anything about your new role?
No.
Did you take an ungrateful vow?
I'll stop you there. Yeah.
I thought you probably did.
Yeah. There's nothing I can say without getting shot.
Well played. One more question, please. Let's go to the woman in the back there, Bodhi. Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
Hi. Can you talk about what you recorded for the rides here at Diagon Alley, especially Dom and Warwick, and your experience filming scenes for the Gringotts experience?
Yeah, we did that, was it like 2 years ago? It was a long time ago we did it. It was weird for me getting the makeup on again and stepping back into that character, which I'm very fond of, all the characters that he plays as an actor, you kind of become attached to, and it was nice to stick on that face again and become the character. We had fun doing it though. We had to do a scene that was, his projector goes a silhouette in the pre-show area of the ride, and I just remember we kept laughing quite a lot doing it. It was very unprofessional. But
Nothing to do there.
But it's a huge honour to be part of the ride, and be in there and to spot yourself. None more so than you, sir. I mean, when you were doing the heroic moment.
It was,
You were very heroic.
Thank you.
Did you feel heroic?
Yeah, I felt completely heroic, and then I watched it back and thought, wow, I look like a star. No, it was great. I loved it actually. It was difficult because there was a lot of technical stuff at the same, like much more technical stuff than when you're acting in the movie. So, because you realise they've got all these machines and machinery that they spend, must be millions and millions on to keep you kind of going around, and every bit has to tie in exactly, otherwise it would wrong work. So the technical side of it was difficult, but then you start to have fun, which is always the best thing to do. And it was the same on the train. I went on the train before I went on the ride, and the train was the same thing. I got to see Robbie do his thing, and I see my dad on the way back, which was really cool. Yeah, just kind of waving, hi Dad. And it was
My daughter did exactly the same. Is he that? Like it was a surprise that never made her felt. It's funny the kids are like that.
Yeah, so I was
Don't you cry an actor all these years?
every now and again.
Every now and again.
So I loved it. The whole thing was special for me, and it's amazing to think that, again, it's the same thing, it's just about children will get to, so many different people are going to go on those rides and hopefully have a brilliant time, and it's very nice to think that we have been a part of that, making people happy. It's a good thing.
It's interesting. The other thing is that we were talking about the other day is that, this set, the original set, probably the wall ended up starting the picture in the thing. And yet look at that magnificent cathedral ceiling. And what the designers do a lot of the time is they just go around and build cathedrals and take lots of photographs and say, oh, these big carved eagles would be quite nice at the top of the bar. And then somebody goes and makes them. It's quite staggering. The other thing, of course, is that it's open ceiling, whereas it was darkly covered. It was an old aircraft actually we filmed it. Now you can wander around and Diagon Alley, you can see what it would look like in daylight. There's completely different sort of three-dimensional fields. You can go into all the doors, whereas when it's a set, sets have to be moved. So you put the camera in different positions to move the lights or whatever, all that stuff. So they cannot be three-dimensional, otherwise they wouldn't move. Whereas here, because it's so permanent, you can wander around all the stores. You can open the door and go in, and somebody will greet you. And it's just like being in a real place, weirdly, except the shrunken heads for sale.
And it's a totally different experience during the day, as what we said too. At night, when we saw it last night, here it was different again, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time this morning. We're really grateful for spending a few minutes with us. Thank you.